It turns out that you don't have to be an explorer. In fact, there are tons of amazing historical sites that you can and should go see today, tomorrow, or sometime very soon. Each monument or landmark holds a piece of history. Its preservation is a gift that we shouldn't take for granted. If you are curious about glimpsing the past, then you're in luck. We have compiled a list of 30 historical places that you need to visit in your lifetime, hopefully sooner rather than later. Especially the first one. It's so fascinating. Number 30. Forbidden City, China. Behind the 10-meter defensive wall is the unbelievable Forbidden City. Comprised of 90 palaces and courtyards, 980 buildings and 8,704 rooms. This palace complex was the Chinese imperial palace for more than 500 years, beginning with Ming Dynasty and ending with the Qing Dynasty. Built between 1406 and 1420 and epitomizing Chinese palatial architecture, it is the largest of its kind in the world. Today, the Forbidden City is home to the Palace Museum, which houses an extensive collection of paintings, ceramics, jade, and other historic and cultural artifacts. Number 29. Petra, Jordan. Petra's rock-cut architecture has contributed to its nickname, the Rose City, based on the color of the stone it was carved from. The intricate construction of temples and tombs along with the remains of churches and temples are only a couple of reasons why this world-famous site is a must-visit destination. Number 28. Great Wall, China. Stretching almost 13,171 miles, more than 10 million people visit the Great Wall of China every year. Building began in the 3rd century BC, and by the time it was finished in the 17th century AD it was the largest military structure in the world, and had great architectural and historic importance. Number 27. Abu Simbel, Egypt. A small village with beautiful views of the desert and lake. Abu Simbel's claims to fame are its 2 enormous temples that were rescued from Lake Nasser's rising waters. Each temple is impressive in its own right, with the Temple of Ramses II containing 4 statues of Ramses that are more than 20 meters tall, and the Temple of Hathor being one of Egypt's best preserved complexes. Number 26. Cultural landscape of Bali, Indonesia. While Bali is typically famous for its beaches and mountains, Bali draws our attention to its 5 rice terraces and their water temples, including the 18th century royal water temple of Piratamanayan. One of the reasons why it's so significant is because of the use of the 9th century farming practice called sabak, which helped the Balinese become effective rice growers. Number 25. Leshan Giant Buddha, China. Back in the 8th century, Haitong led the charge to carve the Leshan Giant Buddha out of a cliff face. The result was a 71-meter Buddha statue that is both the tallest and largest in the world. Number 24. Yellowstone National Park, USA. The world's first national park sits on top of a volcanic hotspot and offers everything from great views to fun activities and wildlife sightings. Home to lush forests, hot springs, alpine rivers, geysers, and more, it's not hard to see why it's one of the greatest parks in the USA. Number 23. Plitvice Lakes National Park, Croatia. Waterfalls, lakes, and caves highlight one of Europe's best national parks. Other than their natural beauty, its 16 lakes are known for their variety of colors that change based on the angle of the sun and organisms and minerals in the water. Because Plitvice Lakes National Park is heavily forested, you'll have the chance to check out many different types of animals, birds, and trees. Number 22. Hierapolis-Pamukkale, Turkey. Comprised of mineral forests, terraced basins, and petrified waterfalls, we can thank mineral-infused water from Iguazu for the amazing site that we call Pamukkale, or the Cotton Palace. This area shares its fame with the well-preserved city of Hierapolis. At the end of the 2nd century BC, the Attalid kings of Pergamon decided to create the thermal spa of Hierapolis and use its hot springs. Previously a significant religious center for the Eastern Roman Empire, today we can still see the ruins of temples, baths, or theater, and other Greek structures. History, views, and relaxation mixed to create an epic trip to Hierapolis-Pamukkale. Number 21. Meteora, Greece. This nearly inaccessible sandstone rock formation dates back to the 11th century. Meteora is a breathtaking phenomenon that's home to one of the biggest and most steeply built complexes, containing 24 Eastern Orthodox monasteries. In addition to the history, architecture, and views on display here, you're sure to appreciate the 16th century, post-Byzantine frescoes within the monasteries. The nature here, along with the example of bravery in building the monasteries despite the danger, create an experience that must be seen to be believed. Number 20. Rani-ki-Vav, India. Rani-ki-Vav, or the Queen's Step Well, was constructed in the 11th century AD to memorialize King Bindevi. The water resource and storage system was built using the complex and intricate Meru-Gurjara architectural style. Designed as an inverted temple, Rani-ki-Vav has 7 levels and more than 1,000 sculptures to explore. Number 19. Cappadocia, Turkey. Cappadocia is a fascinating geological wonderland of fairy chimneys, or large cone-shaped rock formations. But that's not all, it's also full of caves, cave churches, fantastical landscapes, and underground cities. To take in Cappadocia at its best, book a hot air balloon ride, so you can see all of the unique landscape and enjoy one of the best sunrises in the world. Number 18. Palace and Park of Versailles, France. Once King Louis XIV moved the royal court here from Paris in 1682, it became known as the ideal royal residence at the time, and continues to be one of France's most visited sites. Maintained as the royal residence only until the reign of Louis XVI, 107 years later, there continued to be a range of additions and embellishments added by a variety of decorators, sculptors, and architects. The symmetrical gardens designed by landscape architect André Lenoir are said to be among the best surviving examples of the French formal garden style. Number 17. Old City of Jerusalem, Israel. Boasting lofty 16th century walls, amazing sights like the Western Wall, unique markets, and quaint alleyways, it's no surprise that this holy city is one of the most visited World Heritage Sites. Packed with more than 200 historical monuments with tremendous religious significance, there's nothing quite like the Old City of Jerusalem. Number 16. Silk Roads, China, Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. The Silk Roads is a 5,000-kilometer stretch of the network that has been connecting civilizations for thousands of years, beginning in the 2nd century BC. Not only did the system of trade routes allow for the exchange of goods, but also for the exchange of cultures, languages, and ideas. The passage includes 33 locations, but along the way you'll also find other previously assigned World Heritage Sites. The Silk Roads have everything from capital cities and Buddhist cave temples to palace complexes, and parts of the Great Wall of China. Number 15. Ancient Kyoto, Japan. Established in 794 AD, Kyoto was the capital of Japan until the mid-19th century. Its status includes 17 locations made up of 198 buildings and 12 gardens that date back between the 10th-17th centuries. Some of the most popular sites include the Zen Buddhist temple Kinkakuji and Kamigamo Shrine, one of Japan's oldest Shinto shrines. Kyoto has also had a huge impact on landscape gardening worldwide, and a visit here will show the impressive development of both Japanese gardens and wooden architecture. Number 14. Iguazu National Park, Brazil. The crown jewel of this national park is one of the world's most impressive waterfalls, which spans almost 9,000 feet. Sitting in both Argentina and Brazil, the spray from the waterfall contributes to lush vegetation and more than 2,000 types of vascular plants within the rainforest. Number 13. Stonehenge, England. Believed to be constructed from 3000 BC to 2000 BC, Stonehenge is one of the world's most awe-inspiring prehistoric megalithic monuments. Each megalith weighs around 25 tons and stands about 7 feet wide and 13 feet high. Because of its unmatched design and sophistication, it draws visitors from all over the world and its significance continues to be explored. Number 12. Cinque, Italy. With cars being banned here, you'll really get to feel the distinct history and character of the Cinque centuries-old 5 coastal villages. Whether you're hiking, eating, or taking a boat tour, it's hard to deny that the Cinque Terre is among the most beautiful historical places in the world. Number 11. Vatican City. The world's smallest country has huge significance. Not only is the Catholic Holy City home to the Pope, but it also houses countless pieces of prized art and many years of great history. Baroque and Renaissance art and architecture characterize Vatican City and are displayed perfectly at one of the world's largest religious buildings, St. Peter's Basilica. Number 10. Ha Long Bay, Vietnam. Known for its limestone pillars and rainforests, Ha Long Bay is made up of nearly 2,000 islands. While most of the islands are uninhabited, the large caves and trees on many of them make for stunning landscapes. Number 9. Serengeti National Park, Tanzania. Visit Serengeti National Park to get a peek at the most magnificent natural event in the world, the Great Wildebeest Migration. Every year between October and November 2 million wildebeest and hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles migrate from Kenya to Tanzania to search for water and grazing land. The park also has the highest concentration of large mammals on the planet, including the Big Five: lion, Cape buffalo, leopard, elephant, and rhinoceros, and around 500 species of birds. If you're looking for a perfect safari experience, look no further than Serengeti National Park. Number 8. Bam, Iran. Dating back to the 6th century Achaemenid Empire, Bam used to be famous for creating cotton and silk garments. Because it's an oasis, their lives depended on underground irrigation canals, and these preserved canals have proven to be some of the oldest in Iran. While it's home to many historical structures, its crown jewel is Aghi Bam. Aghi Bam is the world's biggest adobe building, and it's the best example we have of something being built with the vernacular technique of mud layering. Number 7. St. Petersburg, Russia. Picturesque landscapes, architecture, and culture characterize this port city. We can thank its founder, Peter the Great, for beginning a project in 1703 that led to more than 400 bridges and several canals beautifying its waterscape. Neoclassical and Baroque styles combine to create a lovely architectural culture that can be viewed in the Hermitage, the world's second largest culture and art museum, the Marble Palace, and the Winter Palace. Number 6. La Grande Place, Belgium. Representing the success and prosperity of Brussels, La Grande Place is one of Europe's most beautiful central market squares. Wanting to communicate its vitality and significance after the bombardment of Louis XIV and the French in 1695, several artistic styles were blended together to make La Grande Place an architectural gem. Highlighting the square is its only remaining medieval building, the Brabantine Gothic Town Hall and other opulent guild houses, but there are many other magnificent Baroque and Gothic pieces to admire. Number 5. Loire Valley, France. This stunning area is defined by historic towns, impressive architecture, and fine wines. If you take a trip to its riverbanks, you'll find fruit orchards, vineyards, and asparagus and artichoke fields. While everything in the Loire Valley is beautiful, its highlight is the Château de Chambord, which is one of the world's most distinct chateaux, because of its French Renaissance architectural style. Number 4. Great Barrier Reef, Australia. The Great Barrier Reef is not only one of the most colorful places on Earth, but also the planet's largest coral reef system. This fascinating system is home to 400 kinds of coral, more than 900 islands, more than 2,000 types of plants, and even some endangered species of marine life like the sea cow. Stretching around 133,000 square miles, the massive Great Barrier Reef can even be seen from outer space. Number 3. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. Angkor Wat is the world's largest religious monument, and it contains impressive remains from the 9th-15th century Khmer Empire. Hosting more than 2 million visitors a year, this artistic masterpiece is one of the most visited historical sites in the world. Number 2. Taj Mahal, India. One of the most renowned attractions in the world, this ivory white mausoleum was commissioned by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan to hold the tomb of his favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. It's an amazing symbol of India's history, and you'll experience Mughal architecture at its finest when you visit the Taj Mahal. Before we continue with our last video, first help us spread about Tish facts by clicking like button, and also be sure to subscribe and turn on notification button so that you don't miss our future videos. Number 1. Wulingyuan, China. While Wulingyuan is mainly famed for its more than 3,000 narrow quartzite sandstone peaks and pillars, many standing more than 200 meters tall, you'll absolutely love what you'll find in between them. Between the lofty peaks are lakes, pools, streams, rivers, and waterfalls, along with gorges, ravines, 2 natural bridges, and 40 caves. In addition to the epic landscape, Wulingyuan is also known for having many endangered animal and plant species.